Welcome back to Two Dads in a Pod. I'm Miguel.
And I'm Walter.
And this is Walter. It's about to switch right now. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Well set up. Yeah, no. So I did all the math and all the equipment we're using today. It adds up. Boo. Which makes me realize like I put a lot of attention into the right stuff. And that's not including all the equipment I've tried.
Oh, that's right.
And all the equipment that's put away right now.
So you're doing what? Miguel's Moments for how long?
Since 2019.
Miguel's Moments.
End of or middle of 2019. I know Miguel's Moments. I haven't done any. I figure once I get this setup going a lot easier.
Yeah.
I can eventually start like on the off weeks that we don't do one. I do Miguel's
Moments.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Or something weekdays. It's just hard to find people who have time during the weekdays, and we try to aim for weekends, and then you kind of want your own time on weekends.
I think what's gonna happen eventually is this could be me joining every time.
You might, yeah. It's like, hey, this is Miguel's moment. Like we'll do two cut. Okay, cut, and then hi, welcome back to Two Dads in the Pod.
You might have to. No. We plan on this studio. First off, we don't even have a name for it, but this is gonna be a self-funding project, and it's looking pretty good. It's just over the years, it's gonna, and hopefully we'll get you better quality videos and stuff.
We just need to get a couple lights in the background, so to help silhouette us a little bit. Yeah, no, I've been looking at a lot more videos. I feel like every time I look at like a podcast or YouTube video on how to and stuff like that, I learn something new.
Yeah. I know that one you sent me the other day, I was like, okay, it felt nice because it was like, we were doing about most of the things that they're talked about. There's just maybe a couple that, we'll have to work on, but.
Yeah, the only thing that's worrying me now is if like something gets interrupted on this system. It's not recording anything else, so like it stops. So at some point, I'll get an SD card to record. Yeah, it's recording now.
We have that problem many times. Yeah,
but I figure at some point, put an SD card to actually record on this system too.
Yeah,
I just gotta
get
an SD card.
I mean, we just started. We haven't even been a year into this.
No, I want everything to be perfect.
I know. I mean, we haven't been a year into this. This is our second season, but it's still not
second season.
It's still not our first year doing it.
Speaking of seasons, Super Bowl season's almost over.
If you can see right there, there's the Rams hat. Let me just move up.
This episode is brought to you by LA Dodgers. Wait, LA Rams. I think when did LA get the Rams?
A couple years ago.
And then
well, I mean, they were in LA like back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, then they moved to St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, because I was like so confused. Like LA Rams. Like I don't keep up with.
I know you're not the sports guy.
The biggest one I think I know is like Las Vegas Raiders now.
Yeah. You're not the sports dad.
I'm not the sports dad. I feel bad because like let's say my kid does become a sports kid or something, and I'm like.
You would just
like sorry, kid, we can't connect.
Hey, teach you your soccer skills from ASO.
Oh yeah, standing there, just stand still, put your foot out, and get the ball.
No, I remember always hearing the terms "big kick," from all the parents on the sidelines. Whatever, there's a big kick, big boot. There'd be that one kid who just hits it really hard, and everybody's like, yeah.
You know what's funny? So when we played soccer and then eventually I started getting into anime, I started thinking it's like, dude, imagine having the Sharingan and being able to predict where the players are going to be and how they're going to move. Dude, you'd be unstoppable.
Super Saiyan.
No, that's a little cheat. That's even
like
more
Sharingan isn't any more cheating.
That's more strategy though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You already predict the future.
The basic
so you can already
Sharingan, you can like read people's moves and stuff like that. I'm not talking about like Shaolin soccer and like freaking kicking the ball halfway down the field, and it as it gets closer to the goal it becomes stronger. There's like a dragon figure.
That would be cool. That's where sports anime comes in. You should really take a look at that.
I need to.
Kuroko's Basketball, one of my favorites. That's a good one.
Basketball, yeah. I saw a clip.
It's on Netflix.
It's like leave it to anime to make a pass look like.
Check it out, man. Yeah. Speaking of sports, so since you weren't really ever into sports, how did you get to ASO?
My mom wanted to keep us busy.
Okay.
She tried.
Even though she was mad that you weren't in soccer after she put it in there.
Yeah. So So I know the first year we went to soccer, I was already like U12, U10, whatever. That's like
Oh, so
10
you
year
were
old.
like way.
Yeah, I was.
okay.
I was already no pee wee soccer for me or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and we got into soccer, and we we became division champions. But the big thing that bothered my mother was I wasn't running enough. Because they had me defense, and remember, like I was.
Yeah.
Even the coach was like, and this, they were handing out trophies, or whatever, and they're like, this goes to a kid who just kind of stands there looking at the sky, and then puts his foot out, and all of a sudden he gets the soccer ball and kicks it back forward.
Were you one of the bigger, like taller kids on there back then?
Bigger, probably. Taller, I don't know.
No.
I think so. I want to say yes. I don't know when I got my growth spurt, but I'm pretty sure I was the one of the taller kids for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was it was interesting. We were division champions. We're like, yeah, like there's nothing that can stop us. Well, we weren't like bragging or anything. It was just more like, all right, this was fun. Like we were like wondering why it wasn't as hard as we thought it was gonna be, especially for me who was going all out. And then we went to play like other cities.
Oh, you actually did that?
San Ynez.
Okay.
Like we went further and further into the tournaments. Because the division champion gets to go qualified for the tournaments, and then if you keep going, there's eventually nationals or whatever. No, San Ynez kicked their ass, knocked us out first game. It was like, fuck. So that's how you're supposed to play. Paso didn't have a lot of good players. They were all on the club teams.
Standing there just isn't enough.
Yeah, guess I have to move.
I'm not. This isn't for me. You said.
And then there was like a 2-year gap where I didn't do any soccer again.
Yeah.
And then finally my mom was like, no salen afuera, da.
So we're like, now she's getting back. Yeah.
So all right, let's put us back in soccer. And then for a second there, my brother didn't join. But we were so close in age.
Mm-hmm.
If I joined anything, slowly following after was my brother. I was already in. I was with the team. We got introduced. We got jerseys and everything. First day of practice, mom shows up with my brother, talks to the coach.
He's in.
I was like, son of a gun. I thought it was going to be like my thing. I think that's why
team captain.
I think that's why I started like steering away from sports. Like I don't want to like keep trying sports and then have my brother try to say it. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of like subconscious
sibling rivalry or something.
It's just
you didn't want to go through.
It bugged me a little bit. And oh man, there's so much animosity.
I can see that.
I'm starting to think about it now.
Starting to boil.
It's like even when we were in separate teams,
yeah.
like we were playing, the same day, and I mean, maybe it was just because I was thinking about it too much, or maybe because it was like I was like looking at the fine details too much. But like she went to his game instead of mine. It was
okay. So now
it was just one of those things. That,
so now it's starting to build up.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's why like sports wasn't really like one of my
strong points,
interests. Like I was always like naturally like good athletic wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just got a basketball and I started shooting the hoops outside a few days ago, and I'm like, wow, like I thought I was gonna miss completely because like you shoot the ball and all of a sudden like it's way off or what. No, I was actually making some 2-pointers, 3-pointers, not so much.
Did you grow up playing like street soccer at all?
Football mostly.
Football mostly.
Yeah, but we played downs. We didn't play like full all the rules and stuff. So when I did eventually start watching football,
like, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make what is this? What? How is it 4 downs again? Like, yeah, because we just did turnovers after 4.
Backyard football.
It was a lot easier that way.
Well, I mean, nobody's really gonna.
Nobody's tracking
backyard
the yards.
Football. Nobody's really gonna punt.
Exactly.
You know, right?
Yeah.
You don't. Really
so it was back and forth. You get 4 tries to get to the other side, and then it's turnover. Or if you get an interception, obviously it turns over.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But no, I remember playing in. I think it was the year after the second time I went to soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I lost. It was 10th grade. And again, big gaps between me doing sports. I was in 10th grade. Freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
10th grade, I didn't do shit. Freshman year, I was soccer, and I was riding my bike to school every day. And then, because I entered freshman year as like a fat, chubby little 5th grader.
Right.
Or
5th grader, 9th grader,
9th grader, or fat, chubby, whatever you want to call it. I'm not body shaming myself. But I'm just saying, like, I know the reality, what it was. I was a little chubby.
You've accepted it.
I've accepted it. I was a little chubby, I became the funny guy instead. You have to make it up. You have to make it up somehow. But I went to 9th grade, and then I was a little behind on athletic wise, like physically. And I remember that year it was just really good. I was like drinking a lot of water because I was obviously thirsty because I was riding my bike to and from school.
Oh, so there was your
and we would play
basically
outside and then practice Tuesdays, 2 times a week, and games on the weekends. And it got to the point where, like, at the end of the school year, we did a final, like, physical, and, like, my PE teacher was, like, recording, like, the before and afters kind of thing. I should ask her if she still has them. But I can hear her, like, commenting on the camera or whatever. It's like, this kid, couldn't run a mile under and then he finally did it.
So, like,
but you can definitely tell, like, even my movements were different. It wasn't like this. It was like this, bum, 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 Instead it's like, ta, 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 ta. No, but like she noticed a difference, and it was kind of good. And then sophomore year came by, and I was starting to become a little bit more like rebellious. Like,
that was your
I start and if I want to do any kind of sports, it was just not there anymore.
What do you think what was the catalyst for your rebellious phase, would you say?
Oh, we're going down this road. Okay, so 10th grade, best GPA I've ever had.
Okay.
But I said it's my rebellious phase. Why, you ask, right?
Yes.
So I remember going out late, but to the library. And we would stay out too late, and guess who got mad? My parents.
Yeah.
Don't dimp on the there's no winning.
The library.
There's no winning. And so that year, best GPA. I mean, I was hanging out with like 4 or 5 friends. We all just did homework and joked around. And I tell myself all the time, like, if this kept going, 11th, 12th, oh God, who knows where I would have been education wise, right?
Right.
But when I got mad, I started telling no.
So you're like, if I'm already gonna get in trouble, might as well just do whatever I want, right?
So yeah, eventually, even if I was doing something good, I was getting in trouble. So when following year came by 11th grade, I started like not really caring too much about the homework part because obviously it didn't affect anything, GPA. But then I would get to talking, you had to do better in school, blah, blah. I'm like, I was doing better, but you wouldn't let me all these things, man. I mean, long story short, I knew school wasn't like really my thing anymore after that. Sports wasn't really my thing. So
do you feel if you had a positive, more like reinforcement, you would
support?
You think
maybe a little bit more support.
Right.
I think a little dash of support would have made any kind of decision I made a little bit different. They did their best, obviously.
Well, yeah,
they worked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
freaking like I mentioned before, they were up 5:00 in the morning and didn't get back until 7:00 at night. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And that's why they were too tired to go get me and stuff like that. But that's one thing I try to keep in mind every time I get home from work. And Sophia wants attention or something. It's like, this is gonna make a difference.
Yeah. You ever do it's not as hard as it was for my parents right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then I start putting things in perspective.
Yeah.
I get home at 6 instead of,
It's a good thing of doing that instead of complaining sometimes. Even though, I mean, we will never outsuffer our parents.
No, I don't think that'll ever happen unless there's some sort of like ridiculous like depression or something, like economics wise, and then we have to rebuild.
Maybe I don't know.
And then we're in the lower class or something.
I don't know. My parents immigrated and jumped the border, so I can't.
Yeah.
At like what when I
unless the United States becomes like Mexico, and then all of a sudden Canada starts looking pretty good, Come over here, eh? That's what we're talking about.
Frigid times. Flappy heads like in South Park.
Playing Canada. God, that was... Why did we watch that movie so young?
Why did we start watching the movie so young? Because it was out there. That's why. That was
It was on VHS when I watched it.
See, there you go. I didn't watch it in theaters. I wanted to. I wanted to, but yeah.
No, my first movie I watched in theaters was Kangaroo Jack.
Ever?
At the beginning, when I went to the movie theater for the first time, it was Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah, so I was already like 12, 13.
I was going to say, you're pretty old.
My childhood wasn't great, man. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I wasn't like starving.
You have mentioned that you guys were deprived a bit.
We just didn't do a lot.
Yeah, no, you have mentioned that before.
We went to Napomo. That was our trip.
The Napomo swap meet, huh?
Yeah, Napomo swap meet was our trips on Sunday.
Were you around here when Paso used to have a swap meet? Oh man.
I'm sure I was. I just didn't know about it.
Oh no.
Swap meet where?
Right across the street from the fairgrounds. That big ass parking lot.
Oh,
Used to be swap meet.
I know it was there. Even as an adult, I never went.
Right. Well, I don't know. As an adult,
I remember
I don't think
like
it was
when I was
there.
18, it was there. Or something
Was it
like
still?
That. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
I feel like it was there, and if it was really like starting to like die down.
Probably. I was just happy that I got a churro.
Churros.
Yeah, they had churros there, and I was just very happy that I got one. That was I shut the hell up after I got one of those. Like you weren't gonna get anything from me. That was it.
Oh yeah, George Lopez has a skit where.
Oh yeah, we all know.
It's like anytime before like Mexican parents, like before you go anywhere, they talk to you outside. He's like, okay, listen, you're gonna behave and no talking. Like we're just gonna go in and out, get what we need, which is funny because they walked around quite a bit in each store, if you think about it. But then you
had more kids back then.
Yeah.
I mean, how many kids were growing up with you?
Well, it was just my brother, myself, and my sister.
See, there you go.
So
I mean,
I think it's not too bad. But then you see a mom with 3 kids running around now, you're like, oh shit.
I have 3 kids.
One in the stroller.
I have 3 kids.
Oh yeah, you do.
I have 3 kids, and I'm like, that's
a lot, right? How do you deal with that? Like one starts acting up a little bit. Like,
obviously not gracefully sometimes.
Yeah.
But
do you ever find yourself like I know every time I see a parent try to like talk to sternly to their child in front of us at the theater or something like that because they're like behave or we're gonna leave or whatever, and you see the parent actually getting like kind of mad, which reasonable, but he didn't like don't talk, he didn't hit him.
Can't do that anymore. So
in public,
in public.
We're not promoting beating your kids. Light tap, maybe.
Look, to each their own. I'm not judging. All right.
No, I remember there's a specific belt when I was a kid.
I don't have that. We don't have that.
I'm going dark today.
Airing it out, Miguel. Remember?
You want to talk about my first crush? And I
have that story too.
Nah, I shouldn't talk about that. She's doing fine. We're all friends. Just got married.
Last I checked,
she had 3 kids.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, I've found out that having the closer in age your kids are, the more difficult it seems. Every point's gonna have its difficult time. Let's just be real.
Well, your oldest now,
she's
might
10.
be able to help a little bit.
Yeah, no, she's more helpful now, right? So that's not
Don't
as
grab
bad.
that. Don't grab.
Yeah, it's not bad, but at the same time, sometimes she doesn't help de-escalate a situation. But she's 10. Okay, yeah. What else? But the 2 little ones are at the point where like everything they do with each other just bugs the fuck out of them. I'm not. Oh my God. The other day they were sitting across from each other, 2 little ones.
Yeah.
Like eating cereal or something. Domin literally yells at me and says, "Camille's looking at me."
Well, don't look back.
No, it's like they sit next to her so she's not looking at you, or I don't know. And I'm like, or not only that, they want to share my lap, right? Yeah. Okay, they want to share a lap, and they get mad at each other that one leg is touching the other. God damn. Those are the times where I'm just like,
do you set them facing away from each
other? There really isn't I don't really have a choice because our recliner can only they're getting bigger.
Yeah. Oh.
And you can't really do much about it. I'm just like, oh God.
Do you have one of those single recliners, right?
No, my wife has a recliner. I have a recliner. Yeah, but single recliner. Yeah,
single recliner.
And we each have our own, and of course a sofa that nobody ever sits on, so the kids just don't like to jump on it.
I think it's funny. It's like Crystal. We don't have a recliner, but we have a single sofa, single person sofa. She likes to sit that one. And I'm just like over here, like in the love couch, like there's no love over here, man. Like what the hell? I grew up with my dad. I'm going dark again. I'm so scarred.
Air it out, Miguel. No, air it out, Miguel.
I personally think if I'm gonna sit somewhere, I'm gonna sit somewhere where somebody else can join me. Especially if it's like Crystal or Sophia, can sit next to me, because. Growing up, it always sucked that my dad was like in by himself, and even when he was sitting in the sofa that had all touching. He didn't like sitting next to people. You know, each side had its own like, you know, recliner part.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was
So he wanted to sit by himself, right?
Yeah.
So like if you got close to him, what would happen? If you tried
um,
sitting there, what would happen?
I don't think I tried, and if I did, I don't remember.
Well, okay, so
Probably
obviously,
blocked it
obviously
out.
you knew not to
Tonight.
yeah,
I'm gonna tonight I'm gonna be taking a shower, and it's gonna like all of a sudden come back to me. That's what he did. So every time like I see like a man cave with like
Yeah.
single seats and stuff like that, and I'm like, you guys really don't want to sit next to each other. Like I'm a
Mhm.
little like
Mhm.
baffled. Like that's the mentality. Like, oh, that's a comfortable seat, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't you want to sit next to people? Or in this case, now you have kids wanting to sit next to you. So at some point, you want to like sit on the couch instead,
Right. Right.
on the love seat, on the 3-person couch.
I don't mind when the kids are on me. That I mean, obviously that's a different thing from when I was little, but
Yeah.
I don't mind when the kids. It just when they fight over me is when it gets annoying.
Isn't it nice though? Like to get a little attention.
I mean, when you think about it, when you think now because I'm not around them, and
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a weird thing too is I don't know how it is with you and Sophia, but I know like whenever I'm out for like a little too long, that I get like I don't know, separation anxiety is the
I
right
smell
term.
her diaper.
Okay, see, there you go.
I'm at
As much as-
especially when we were like so together during the pandemic, and
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
finally started working again.
Yeah,
I'll be like working, whatever, and like
smells like diaper.
it smells like a diaper.
Yeah.
Sophia's diaper.
It was funny because we were at I was at Vegas a couple months ago because my friend it was my friend's bachelor party.
Yeah.
So me and another friend, we went together to Vegas, and of course the thing is those two guys are my best friends. All right, I've known one since kindergarten and the other one since 3rd grade, and that was just it. We all meshed together.
Mhm.
So 2 of us, including me, are married and have kids. The other one is just now getting married, no kids.
Yeah.
So so while we're in Vegas, it was like the second day or something, and we were just kind of like, I don't know, I was there with my friend, and I said, I think I said to him, I was like, do you miss your kids yet? And he goes, not until you mention it. He's like, now that you mention it,
Dang,
and I was like, yeah, I had enough time without them that I'm like, oh, I was like, wonder what they're doing. I kind of miss them, and it's just the thing that happens to me that after a while I'm just like, I can't be away too long without being like, all right, I think I'm ready to see them again.
Yeah.
That's the point where I'm in my life right now. But it's always nice, but you leave for a while and then you come back, and it now makes sense as to why, like, if you ever think of a wild cat, have you ever think like wild animals or something, they leave their kids for a while and then they go out and do whatever and then they come back. They're probably tired of just being around kids.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Or they just have to go hunt or something.
Or they hunt too, but I mean, obviously,
bring back food.
If they're
They go
already
to work,
fed, they go to
bring home
work.
food.
Yeah.
And then
Put the little cat hat on and
the little cat hat on, tie, suitcase.
Imagine he has an office job.
He has a poster of a guy hanging, saying "Hang in there,
Hang in there, baby,
hang in there, baby." It's, in an alternate universe.
Oh God,
that'd be hilarious. That sounds like a Rick and Morty episode, kind of.
Well, they did
do
that,
like the whole.
They did that one of my favorite ones. Not to get too far away from the show here, but where and what was it? Sofas.
Oh, sofas. They're like humans.
No, the sofas were sitting on humans, but they were ordering pizza on a pizza telephone with like it was just, it was anyway. I'm not gonna.
There was an episode.
That's a Miguel's moment thing.
Yeah, I know. That was one of the newer ones. Was like, now time for bad swimmers diving, and you see.
Yeah.
They just show up with the hook to get them out. No, but
So you smell diaper and you immediately think Sophia.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's funny because I did not think I was gonna be that good with diapers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm the best, not putting it out there, but I'm pretty good at changing a diaper. Now it's like not so much because she's squirming a lot more, so it's really tough to like pin her down.
It's also kind of difficult. Well, I'm sure you know this because you have a girl.
Mm.
It's like you had
Make
a
sure
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And I remember going. So you know, my first was a girl too.
Yeah.
And I remember doing those like parenting classes, or like when you know your wife's pregnant.
I didn't do parenting classes.
Not
Come
parenting.
on.
Do you guys didn't go to those like?
No Lamaze.
No, I'm
No
not-
parenting
you didn't
classes.
do any of that?
Nothing. We just went in. They gave us pamphlets, and we were out.
Yeah, that's all you did, huh?
I trusted Crystal enough to handle it.
See, okay. No right and wrong here, okay?
No.
I'm not judging you. All right, I'm not judging you.
No. Like I was very comfortable.
Right.
If she said we don't need it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. So we went to one of those like when my ex-wife was pregnant, we went to one of those like classes when they're like, yeah, she was pregnant, and then they taught us about like changing diapers and stuff. It's not like we really needed it, but I mean, I don't think we needed it, but technically, I guess I did.
Yeah.
And I remember never thinking about this because I have never been a girl in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like showing us, you know, how to wipe, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know how to wipe butt, right? And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then they
Yeah.
started talking about
Side to side, right?
what, and they're like, they're talking about when you're wiping a baby boy. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then they're talking about wiping a baby girl. And they're like, make sure that you get in here, because they could be prone to infections because of what they. I was like, I never thought about that.
Especially the first couple years because it's all squishy and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was like, I never thought about that. I've never.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So then, you know, now going in, I have 2 girls.
Yeah.
And wiping in, like, yeah, you have to know front to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, front to back. Everything about that. Yeah.
Carry
Front
the
to,
5.
Yeah, carry the 5. Let's see. One hand. And anyway, yeah. Front to back. And like I said, yeah, us guys aren't ever taught about these things.
No.
Maybe I don't know about these next generations. I know I wasn't.
There's things I should have done as a guy that I didn't know.
See, they would have saved you a lot of pain.
Yeah. I'm more sanitary now. Let's put it that way.
So, where were we going with it? Anyway, yeah, certain things we
cleaning babies.
Clean baby. There's certain things we didn't know until we had one of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And we just.
I'm gonna leave once the potty training starts for Sophia. I'm gonna leave it to Crystal because obviously I'm not a girl. I don't have that.
Why? Okay, so what do you think that you should leave it to just Crystal?
For the girl part? For the girl?
Yeah, sure.
Well, for the main part, I'm pretty sure if I tried, I probably would say something wrong.
Okay.
Like because I've seen the balloon method, right? They put balloons on their back, on their back, and like you gotta get between the balloons, whatever. Like,
I've never seen that method. Nope, never seen that method.
If you look it up on YouTube, how to potty train. They like use balloons, like, and they put like whipped cream or something to like kind of
it's not
reenact.
It's not how it went with my first.
Yeah, you're like, see, then you
no, whipped cream.
It's not a delicious task, okay?
Yeah, hold on.
You got a little. Oh, okay. Have you gotten a finger like poopy fingers?
What, my kids?
Yeah.
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
It's not. I freak out too. You know what I do? Okay, you know what I have to do in order to mentally know that I desanitize that finger? This is gonna sound pretty insane, but for me, I have to first off I go wash my hands as soon as I'm done with hot water, scalding hot water, and every so often I will make sure to scald my finger real quick, just so I know that part got sanitized.
Yeah,
I know it sounds insane, and it probably is, but it helps me mentally.
Yeah,
or else I'm gonna have a breakdown.
I do double hand washing if I ever get down my fingers.
It's definitely OCD, and I'm sure I have something that I'm not aware of. But anyway, yeah. So you're gonna just leave it up to like you don't think that you should maybe like.
I'll watch, learn myself in case. If we have another girl.
Well, yeah. Also, like, what if Crystal's not there? You know, like
obviously I'll take the hit and I'll go for it. You know,
I think being as a guy that's had girls, and then obviously we know the history of like males not being so involved with like the girls and stuff. I encourage you to just learn more about, like, even though it's a girl, I think it's because we're brought up that it's weird.
Yeah.
Right. And we need to be desensitized about that, because it
oh
really
yeah, no, I completely understand being desensitized and everything. It's not more of ew, don't
I remember when when me and the ex-wife splitting up, and it was pretty difficult. I mean, everybody, I don't think a divorce or anything is ever going to be easy, but
no.
My daughter, when we finally split, she wasn't even 2 yet. And it went to okay, we had an apartment together. We're like, who's gonna get the apartment? I told her I can pay for the apartment myself, so I want to stay in the apartment. She ended up moving to her parents for the time being, and
you partied for 2 weeks straight.
No, no, it was no.
Come on over,
not until a year later. It was it wasn't easy, right? And
lines of cocaine everywhere.
That I can say I've never done. So
no, me either.
Yeah. Man, you really are dark today, aren't you?
Super Bowl Sunday.
It's not a powdered donut, guys.
God, so funny. You stay at the apartment?
Yeah, so I stayed at the apartment, and we were starting to figure out custody. And one of the best things that we did is we said, all right, you know what we're gonna do is we're not gonna let any of our family get involved into the decisions that we were making. As much as everybody was
everybody has an opinion.
Oh yeah, it was oh no, you should do that, and
yeah.
we're okay. So that's one thing that we took it gracefully in the fact that we actually made the decisions, and nobody had a part in the decisions, not even the court, because we did everything ourselves.
Yeah. And
that's one thing that I always give credit to, the fact that we did it.
You were adults about it.
Yeah, even though we were I was 20, 22, she was 20 or something. So we were adults. That was the first adult thing that we did, that I felt
yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of separations where
it's hostile. It's very
claiming
hostile.
them on
It's
taxes.
It's very hostile.
And then when they're with one parent, they're talking shit about the other parent to the kid. So the kid has this,
weird,
weird idea of what their dad is about or what their mom's about.
Exactly. So, and my family is being supported towards me, and I'm sure her family is being supported towards her. I remember, my dad came over, and I'm still, it wasn't easy. Like I said, we're still hurt. I'm still not depressed, but I mean, yeah, I guess in a depressive state, and it's very hard to go through. And everybody's first question is, who's gonna get the baby?
Yeah.
Right.
It's because they want cheese man.
It's not even just about. I mean, everybody just The thing is, my daughter was the first grandchild from both families.
Got it.
So everybody's already who's gonna get the baby?
Yeah.
Each side is going to fight for, well, you should get the baby.
Of course.
Right? Each side's going to do that. And so one thing my dad did, and this is, I'm not talking shit about my dad, but it's just more how he was raised and how he sees, how that old generation kind of saw men with boys versus men with girls.
Yeah.
And he said, so, what are we going to do, baby? And I was like, the best thing we're going to do is we're doing this half and half. We're going to do this there. We talked about it where we said that. And my dad, he was like, after I told him that, his face was well, I don't know. Because there's some certain things that only a mom can teach her daughter, or
a dad can teach their son if it was a son. Yeah.
Yeah. He's there's going to be a lot of girl things that you won't be able to teach. And I was like, and that was one of the first times I basically told my dad, I'm you're wrong.
Yeah.
That is not, no. I was
anything they can do, I can do better.
I mean,
yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, why can't I learn about how a woman's parts work, even though I don't have one? In the case that something happened, good or bad, that I would end up having my daughter full time.
Right.
Why can't a man raise a daughter, by himself? Why can't it? You know, what is it about it being so weird? And obviously that's like an older generation thing. How
I think it's definitely an older generation because in my head I'm thinking like I should be fine.
well, exactly. No, and that's the
I saw definitely
that is the
maybe.
correct way of thinking. This is the early 2010s. We're still oh man, I have so many stories of just raising her by myself.
Yeah.
But it's getting better now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I know even back then it was still like on the cusp of it starting to be like, oh yeah, you now see more men with their daughters. But like, yeah, it's definitely one thing my dad was like, well, there's only some things that the mom can teach her. And I'm like, not really. I was like, I may not know exactly how it feels or how it works, but it doesn't mean that I can't teach her like, this is your part. This is what it does. This is that. It's obviously it's very awkward, but I grew up with it being fucking awkward.
Yeah.
As many dudes did growing up, making it awkward. You know, but obviously my dad came from a different generation where it was like the women raise the kids, the guys work.
Yeah.
Right.
And once the kids are old enough to go work with the dad.
Or whatever it is, right? And that's just, you know, but that's one thing I tell him, I'm like, no, I'm going to, even if it's awkward for me, because it was awkward for me growing up, I was like, I'm not going to make it an awkward thing. I was like, maybe this should be a learning experience. And, you know, if for any guys out there who have daughters, like,
learn.
Yeah. I really think that you should just like learn. Get over the fact that how awkward it is. Obviously, yeah, you don't have a vagina, but you, for whatever reason, your significant other might not be there.
Right.
Right. Some accident can happen, and now you are left with the babies. You have to do it. Also, here's another thing: if women can teach their boys to pee standing up, because we all know the single woman, you know, single mom thing. We've seen many single moms.
Yeah.
They've somehow taught their boys how to pee standing up without them having that part. So why can't a man teach his daughter, you know, ways that, you know, women go through? Obviously, it's going to a lot of courses, a lot of, I know women.
YouTube videos.
Oh, look, I mean.
Dark web. I don't know what you're going to find there.
No. I mean, it's definitely a little more difficult. At least I think so.
Yeah. No, I don't know if we were old enough to have memories or too young to have memories. I don't remember being taught how to pee standing up. I just kind of started doing it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't either. I just remember that me and my brother used to go together because we're like close in age.
I remember that.
Did you do that? Okay.
Yeah. We took showers together.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, yeah, we should. After a certain age, she gets older. Okay, then you stop doing that.
Yeah, once I think one of us
was it your older?
Hair, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. Okay.
Yeah, but once one of us started like realizing like it's
a little different.
It's a little different.
A little like you feel a little more exposed, I guess.
Yeah, you need a little bit more privacy. You start like kind of drifting away a little bit.
Yeah. No, I remember we used to be like, "Hey, dude, you were all little." We used to say, "Dude,
pass us up, dude."
No. We'd be like,
"Your turn."
I'd be like, "Hey, do you have to go? Do you have to go to the bathroom?" He goes, "Yeah, you know, I think we do." And we go together.
Girls still do that in bars, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they don't use the same toilet at the same time.
Do they?
No.
Do they? That'd be funny. Exclusive. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember being close to my brother, and I can't remember when it changed, but it almost felt like a light switch, to be honest. Like we just stopped.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, you just don't remember. There was no transition.
We didn't even like sharing towels after that.
Yeah.
Which I think you shouldn't anyway, because it's dirty. Just as an example. And no, it was interesting. He started hanging out with different kids, you know. And I think that's where like the whole soccer thing, like, don't join my soccer team if you're gonna hang out with me. There's more to it. There's different angles. Yeah, full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah. That was funny though.
Revelations on the Dad Podcast.
We should just call this episode, I don't want to talk about it, but this is why.
This is why ...
This is why ... It's fine. I'm sure there's like a lot more reasons why I do certain things now that I'm older and stuff like that. And I try to be as open as possible with everything, at least open-minded with how I'm processing it every time. I know, like, for example, I was talking to before you came by for the podcast. I called my friend up. He called me yesterday. I missed his call. I call him up. We're chatting it up. He has a daughter, same age, born on the same day as me.
Oh, no way.
As our kid. Yeah,
Damn.
it was the weirdest thing. We didn't plan it or anything, but we're like,
Same hospital?
no,
Damn.
Lemoore, somewhere in
would've-
Lemoore.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
so
now that.
missing Hanfordish.
Okay, I was going to say, now that would have made it epic.
That would have been weird, right?
That'd be awesome. He like
I remember when
high
they.
five it.
I remember when they announced it, and that
Imagine
over.
both your wives are like giving birth and you guys just tag team.
That'd be funny. Oh, I'm in the wrong room. You know.
Sorry. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Like, what are you doing here?
Tag in.
Where was I going with this?
Sorry.
Oh,
You're calling your friend.
I was calling my friend. We were catching up, and I told him, like, yeah, even when I do come home tired from work, Sophia is it's a good reminder of I'm not tired. I should
Right.
get up and do things with her. It's gonna, we talked about it's gonna make a big difference, and it's just it keeps you humble. The kids are gonna keep you humble as long as you are
Many times.
as long as you are like active with them or at least involved in some way or another. But if you're not, if you're like that distant parent that sits by himself in that recliner watching telenovelas and then gets upset with us because we're too emotional
Pedro
for watching telenovelas with them.
Yeah.
You watch 2 minute telenovelas because it's the only thing you put on. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it.
You told us. You already told us.
I already told you guys this one. Look at the previous episodes.
I'm gonna have to go through
Which,
a bunch of those.
by the way, Telemundo's on TikTok promoting Pasiones de Gavilanes again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're doing like
What is that
like
show?
a throwback where they got two of the stars and they'll
They need to bring.
reenact the picture of the show or something.
They need to bring back Sábado Gigante.
Dude's still alive.
Oh no, he's still alive, but till this day I,
I
have
thought
no
he was
idea
dead.
The show is dead, not him.
Yeah, I know. He has like silver hair now.
He's always had silver hair.
No, he's had
Was it
gray.
peppered?
Peppered. He had peppered hair.
Oh, whatever.
And I
It looks
remember-
the same to me.
I remember it was like 2005, 6, 7, whatever. And he went through this like surgery, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like plastic surgery or like brain tumor surgery.
Don Francisco.
But I registered it as he was getting a facelift because they I don't know why they were televising this shit for this guy. It was probably because he was so big.
Probably. To this day, I have no idea what Sábado Gigante was about. It was like it was. I mean, if you go back,
It's
think
a
it was
game
a little
show
bit.
about random
It
things.
wasn't. It wasn't just a game show. They also had a talk show. They also did this. They also did like game show. Somebody won a car. Somebody
Talent show.
talent show. Like it was. I mean, I know it was a.
It was a combination of like what all the shows here in America.
I know there's a term for it. A variety show. I know it's a variety show, but
Yeah.
still, if I were explaining the Sábado Gigante to nobody that knows about Sábado Gigante or Gigantic Saturday.
with a chacal.
Oh, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, dude, he was so judgy. Like if you didn't sing well.
I didn't even know if maybe I was too little to know if they weren't singing right or well. Sometimes they would
sucked.
start.
No, they sucked. They sucked.
Sometimes
Even
they'd
if-
start and immediately.
Yeah.
Fuera.
Afuera. And it's kind of like the American Idol where they let that guy
Dude,
she bang.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
William.
if they were really looking for talent, he would have never made it to television.
You know what? Simon Cowell has nothing on a chacal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have been trumpeted out of there. Fuera.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, go back to. I'm sorry. Anyway, they used to tell you that you watched too many telenovelas.
Yeah, and I got too emotional,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, well, that's the only thing you let me watch. So I switched over to anime. Got more emotional.
I was gonna say, there's a shitload of emotion.
I should not do that. That's so fucked up. Kanki no Bojutsu, I'll actually say words,
Yeah,
not
you just
just
say it.
mumble stuff. The only reason I'm now correcting myself is because I saw somebody like bringing back something that Dwayne Johnson did on one of his like WWE like performances. The Chinese.
I don't remember that.
He's like jing 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 jing.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't actually saying anything, and now like it's being brought back to like try to
Mhm.
like obviously cancel him of some sort, right?
Yeah,
But I'm like, God, that's
that's. I'm not. Sometimes I think cancel culture is doing something good, but
yeah.
sometimes
I mean, are we allowed to like do Like,
Oh, there's nothing wrong with
You
that.
know?
That's just no. That's I mean that's just what they do.
if
It's
we're not
we're-
ninja, are we
if we're- no-
allowed?
Nobody's ninja at this point.
Hidden in the oaks, you know? Paso Robles.
I like that. I like that. They should. We should.
And
Village
the tree.
hidden.
And the tree as a symbol.
Village hidden in the oaks.
Village in the
Dude.
I mean, Paso Robles technically feels like it's in its own bubble. Like there's so many things happening outside of Paso. Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Oh, there's
Dude.
ashes outside. There's a fire where? North from here. Like that's as far as we get, right?
I think you're onto something.
So it's
Village
like it's
hidden.
our own little world.
I think so.
And then we have like tuning exams between Atascadero, Templeton, every like
Oh, okay.
Slow
Yeah,
County
so
can be
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Fire Nation or the Fire like
Anywhere in the 805 would technically be like the land.
yeah, the land of fire, whatever. We're gonna make this happen at some
We're
point.
gonna make this happen.
That'd be so funny. Hidden the Oaks. We should
Yeah.
do that. Make a headband.
That's
I wonder if you can make your own custom. I know somebody might have
Dude,
like a
I'm
3D,
sure
not
you
not a
can.
3D
No, you
printer,
can-
but like a printer that prints on
No,
metal.
you would need an engraver.
Yeah.
Engraver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you could do that.
But mine, I want mine slash because I'm gonna be like
Oh, you're gonna
A
be
rebel.
no,
Or,
no. Technically, you're a fugitive.
a fugitive
Yeah.
hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, most of the time.
But I'll be like Itachi Uchiha, who did it for the greater good. Sure, I'll bear the burden.
You know, if you watch, it's funny that you're if you watch older movies. I remember watching this old. You know what? I didn't watch the old movie, and I'm not sure if it's Hot Dog the movie or something, but it's
Hot dog?
isn't that the skiing movie like back in the 80s or
I
something?
don't know.
Anyway, I didn't watch it. All I know is that I was watching a movie, or I was flipping channels one time, and I was watching, and they were having some party, and it looked like at a lodge. So they were all like dressed in, not in ski gear, but they were like in their snow clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, back in the day, where they would always have the token black guy,
Oh yeah.
right? They would always have that, and they'd always have to show that they're multicultural, right? So I remember there being like an Asian guy,
Yeah.
right? We all know what Asian guys were known for back in the day was just karate.
Yeah.
Right. So there's an Asian guy there, and they're having a party. Everybody's dancing, and of course the Asian guy's like just
That's how
doing
he's dancing.
No, that's
Yeah,
how he's doing.
yeah.
He's dancing karate, and this is a couple. He's so stupid. I saw that. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then like, remember the Black Ranger
Oh,
from
yeah.
Power Rangers?
Yeah, with the elephant from
yeah,
Africa.
the Mastodon.
The mastodon.
Yeah, remember how he used to fight? Like he'd punch and he'd like move.
Oh.
Like it's a punch.
Oh,
Like
I mean,
he's-
yeah.
he was the hip hop
The,
guy,
the
right?
Asian chick was the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah,
with Saber
yeah.
to Tiger.
No, but I mean, I'm just talking about like whenever
the
he
Pink
like
Ranger.
whenever
was
he'd throw a punch, he'd like move his body like if
Oh,
he was like
yeah.
breakdancing.
Yeah, that was so weird. But he was a breakdancer.
Yeah, I know, but they were just basically saying like
They
all
were
black people
amplifying
know how to
everything.
dance,
Yeah,
or
they were
al-
amplifying it,
yeah,
amplifying the stereotypes. Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
I mean, if you, there were no Mexicans there, but if there was,
If there was,
he would be saying like a Spanish word after each sentence, basically.
maybe.
Okay,
What color would a Mexican Ranger be?
the Green Ranger
That's taken.
doesn't matter.
It'd
the
be
most
another. It'd
badass.
be another Green Ranger.
I mean, another
There's two. Oh yeah.
Dragon Verde.
Oye, pri.
I'm just saying because I
Because
remember
everybody's primos. You
I
know?
was like, did you watch that Arnold movie? God, which was the one where he's like in a game show? Like The Running Man. You watched The Running
I
Man?
haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
I
it's a
want to.
good movie, dude. You should watch it. It was good. There was some like the main like female protagonist was like a Colombian chick or something.
Oh, okay.
But you know, back then everything was, you know,
Colombian
Colombian or Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just
as a bad guy.
no, I mean not even that. You just
Or just foreign.
no, she was the protagonist. She
Yeah.
was like the chick, the girl,
Okay.
the action guy's girl.
Okay.
And here's the thing though, like I remember this is how you always knew how how you always knew what they were. Is that every time she had a thick accent.
Yeah.
And every time that she was like in distress or something, she's like, "Ay, Dios mío! Oh, what are we going to do? Ay, Dios mío!" And it's like, wait, okay, you know what? We don't all just say a Spanish word after each thing. And if you go watch like older movies where like there's Mexicans in it, There'll be like a guy talking, like me and you are talking, and
Yeah.
be like, you know, you understand? ¿Entiendes?
You,
Or it would be like,
you remember Harold and Kumar?
Yeah.
Where they're talking to the parents because they apparently like escaped Guantanamo Bay. Ching chong ching chong 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 ching ching ching. Yo. Fucking it's like,
And they're like,
look, we don't know what our son did.
When you speak English, oh, I can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, they're speaking some sort of gibberish. That was a good movie. So we talked about some dark moments. Talked about wiping your kids' butts and hoo-has. Making
And
sure it's
accidentally
clean.
getting your finger in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark moments. Freak out moments.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty amazing. And just the fact that it's amazing.
Sticking your finger in poop?
No.
Oh.
What's pretty amazing about babies, and it's not like it's something I wish I could do, but it's just amazing. Like, if you just think about it, how they shit up their backs.
Oh, shit explosions.
Yeah.
We call it shit explosions.
Yeah, but
and it
I
was
mean-
ridiculous.
I know, but like, yeah,
Oh,
sometimes
shit.
they're just,
You okay?
sometimes they're not even laying. I understand when it goes back their back
Yeah.
and they're laying down, but you ever see
Yeah.
one where they were not laying down, all of a sudden, like, it's just,
Yeah, it goes up the right.
Like-
I saw a video one time and I shared it because we were like getting ready for a kid and stuff like that.
yeah.
It was like bubbling from the back.
It's just,
Again, I thought I was gonna. Oh yeah, no, I thought I was gonna be terrible at changing diapers and like gag and all stuff. And I was actually pretty good.
my wife says that I gagged. I don't remember.
She lying. Just kidding.
You're probably going to listen to this, so, you know.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can get me in trouble, but she might be like,
Oh, I get you in trouble.
no, you're not going
You're
to.
oh.
She knows what I do here, whether she listens
Off
to it or not.
air. We'll talk about it.
Shit, dude, we still have to plan the two moms in a pod episode.
Oh, that'd be funny. Or two dads in a pod, exclusive with two moms in a pod, or something like that.
Air out everything there.
Eventually, down the road,
Down the
long time
road. Yeah.
Looking over this whole pandemic shit.
Actually, yeah. Pretty over it. But
All right, cool. Damn, 52 minutes, not too bad.
no, it's not bad at all. I mean, at this point, we kind of know when a conversation's good. And
It's
when
dying.
like-
We're not gonna force you guys to listen to any more of this gibberish.
but
Kind of like
as-
how my parents never let me talk, and never mind. Just go down.
hey,
the
if you guys feel deprived, please let us know. We would love to hear your stories.
yeah.
But anyway, this is all good and fun. We do this for somebody. If anybody's out there that needs some advice, you want to air out stuff of how deprived you were.
If your parents were there at dinner time,
This is the
on
show
time.
for it. Let us know what you think.
hug them tight.
Yeah, let us know. Any suggestions? How we're doing on this show? How you like it? Yeah, how you like it,
How about messages on Instagram?
dude? That's
We're on
even perfect.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Just message us.
Instagram. I mean,
If you wanna
comment on it. You know, I don't. We're
We gotta
at this
post
point.
more, to be honest.
Yeah, we do.
I should get like a whole bunch of clips and just post every
We-
day. A
you
clip,
know what?
a clip,
We-
a clip, a clip.
This is such a big project that it's just the two of us, and eventually we're just gonna get it. We're also.
Just the two of us.
Oh yeah. We're just. We're just.
I'm gonna clip
we're
that
working.
and play it in the loop.
Whatever. you need to loop the go. Oh, hold on, I'm not even on camera yet. So, where
Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait for the punchline. Wait for it. Wait for it.
go Rams. Yeah. But anyway, let us know. Message us. Let us know what you think. You know, like and subscribe on our YouTube.
Like, subscribe, YouTube, comment below.
You know,
below,
comment. We would love your
Down-
everything.
down
So
below. I'm trying to do it to where like it's gonna show. when
forget it.
comments
Don't
are.
even
Okay.
bother.
Bye.
Anyway, see you next time.